in my garden about to start the transpiration experiment. The first thing I need to do is pick out some suitable subjects. I'm looking here at my okra plant, and one thing I notice about the okra is that the leaves have a nice long petiole. So I'm considering using one of them for my transpiration experiment. This is my okra leaf, and I'm looking at another plant leaf to compare it with, and I'm looking at this, the Aurelia. It kind of has a similar shape, but the Aurelia is a shade-loving plant, and I think that if I can get a nice long petiole on one of these, I can compare it nicely to this okra leaf. I'm back in the lab with my leaves. This is my Aurelia, this is my okra. One thing I noticed right away about the okra is, look at this bottom. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a straw. And the Aurelia is considerably different and much more solid. The first thing I want to do is get a nice fresh cut for both of these guys. In preparation for putting them in a tube, the important thing about this tube is that it's graduated. So I'm going to be able to use it to measure the amount of water lost by transpiration by each of these leaves. Now you can use anything that can measure. If you're in a pinch, you can use a pipette. What do you need to use a pipette? What do you need to do? Take out the plunger and get a little bit of hot glue and seal up this end, and you'll have a cylinder that has graduations on it. So this will work pretty well. In fact, these graduations might even be finer than these graduations, and you could get even better measurements. But I'm going to use these tubes today. So I've already put a little bit of water in these in preparation. I just cut these leaves a few minutes ago. I'm going to take a single-edged razor blade and carefully cut the leaf at a 45-degree angle. But first, I'm going to see about how far down this can go. That looks about right, and that looks about right. And I'd like these to be the same length. So I'm going to put them side by side. I'm going to take my razor blade and carefully cut a fresh 45-degree angle, and then I'm going to immediately put it in water, and I'm going to do the same with the Aurelia. Fresh cut, water, and now I have both of the leaves in a tube that has some measurements on it so that I can tell what's happening. Now, in order to confirm that the water is going out through stomata on the leaves, so we know that the leaves all have lots of tiny little openings where gas exchange occurs and water is lost. In order to confirm that it only goes up there, I have to think about how to set this up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put more water in each of these, and I'm going to bring them up to 14.5 milliliters. So I'm adding water. I'm adding water to the 14.5 milliliter mark. And then stop when I get there. There. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other leaf. After I get them to 14.5 milliliters, I'm going to take some oil. This is just plain old cooking oil. I'm going to get a 1/2 milliliter of cooking oil, and I'm going to add it to the tube, avoiding the leaf itself, making sure that I go around the leaf, and this has to be done after the leaf is added. Otherwise, you'll block the plant opening for the water. So right now, this is at exactly 15 milliliters. I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to repeat with the other one, and then I'm going to put the two of them under the light. I'm also going to do a third tube where I put 14.5 milliliters of water and 1/2 milliliter of oil. What's the purpose of this?